Says we're live.
Yay! I think it's going to work, which is really funny because yesterday it did the countdown and it looked like it was working, but who knows? It seems to be working now. So yay!
Cheers to doing something new.
Oh, yay. Well, today I'm so excited to talk with the beautiful Lisa Sharp from Stylish Sparrow. As I mentioned earlier, this week we have been talking about how owning your own beauty is so important. And a big part of that is redecorating your internal landscape, how we talk to ourselves and that type of remodeling. But also it's really important to re-landscape your external landscape. And I love Lisa's business because it a lot of what she does speaks directly to that. So Lisa, I would love if you would introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you do.
Thanks, Amanda, for having me. I'm so glad to be here. And I love the phrasing of this book you guys are reading, Mama Gina. I can't wait to read it and read particularly this chapter because I love the phrasing of inner landscape and outer landscape, and I've often thought about how if we do some inner work and growth, like women are doing in Feminine Fire and other aspects of their lives, it affects, I think it can have an influence on our personal style when it comes to fashion, because it changes how we express ourselves, even if it's just in a small way. So what I do, my business is Stylish Sparrow, and I work with women to experience freedom within their own closet when they get dressed every day. And freedom can mean freedom from our own inner messaging that holds us back from really enjoying fashion and clothing. Freedom can be from media images and societal pressures of one type of beauty or one ideal that we buy the lies and we tell ourselves that we have to fit into this format or body type that's not us. And rather, there's quite a diversity of beauty in all of us. And I think experiencing freedom in this realm of our lives flows out into our relationships and affects people around us. It also affects our relationship with ourselves and how we feel about ourselves. So I work with women within their own closet to do things like editing and paring down the wardrobe, finding new outfit combinations with what they already own, strategically learning how to shop so that when you come home with items, you have a plan for how you're going to wear them, as opposed to just buying random things and amassing more and more and more that doesn't really yield the results we're looking for. Mm-hmm. And I think that to follow Mama Gina's terms of inner landscape and outer landscape, I think that our inner landscape of ourselves and our personality and our soul and all of those sorts of things inform the outer landscape of how we dress and how we decorate our homes and how we express ourselves in those ways. And I think conversely too, that as we develop and start to own our own sense of personal style, which I believe is innate within every person, sometimes it just takes a little bit of excavating and getting underneath some things that have buried it to discover it. But as we begin to do that and express ourselves in fashion, I think that that can have some influence over our interior landscape. So I think it can go both ways, the interior informing the exterior of our lives and the exterior informing the interior. What do you think, Amanda?
I think that's great. And I love how you mentioned earlier freedom, because I think that so many women, I know myself, can feel so much stress around getting dressed. And it's actually gotten so much better since I've worked with you. But I know when you can walk into your closet and feel discouraged, things don't fit, or if you don't know what goes together well. And I found such freedom being able to just walk into my closet and know what goes together, everything fits. I mean, it changes your whole day when you can easily get dressed quickly and not have to stress about finding something.
Yes. And you look at your things that you own and you really enjoy each item. Mm-hmm. And I think arranging it in a way that you have in front of you, front and center, the things that you're actually wearing. That's really important. But kind of going back to the word freedom, I'm thinking of 2 episodes of What Not to Wear that I watched back to back early on in the process of naming Stylish Sparrow and doing some of the branding. And here's what I'll say. One episode was about a woman who was hiding. She was really hiding her beauty. She was a personal assistant to Cheryl, the instructor on Dancing with the Stars, the TV show.
Yeah.
She's personal assistant, and she wore just a big white t-shirt and jeans and tennis shoes and her hair back in a ponytail and no makeup to work every day. And she did a great job, and everybody loved working with her. And they referred her to the show because they really wanted to see her start enjoying herself as she got dressed every day and feeling beautiful, like the beautiful person that she is. And the other woman that was seemingly opposite, but yet if we think about it, it's the same. She was a woman who was a young woman who was a hairstylist, and she kind of went about her personal style in the Lady Gaga sort of way of just very outlandish and ostentatious. And she wanted to show her individuality. And in the end, but she couldn't pull it off as well as the Lady Gaga can. And it ended up creating a barrier between her and people around her. And so I'm bringing this back to the name Stylish Sparrow in the branding process because I was reading about sparrows, and here's what we all can learn, and I think is a really interesting aha, is that sparrows, there's different types of sparrows, and so to demarcate and show what type of sparrow they are, their feathers are what does that for them. So you can look at the feather pattern and know what type of sparrow it is. So it helps them stand out, just like the woman in the second example of What Not to Wear. She was using her clothing and ostentatious style to stand out. And then conversely, the woman who was hiding, sparrow's feathers also serve as camouflage. So they blend in, and it's for safety. And as an aside, sparrows also find safety in numbers. So you'll rarely see them alone. And isn't that so cool with your Feminine Fire community and different groups that we're a part of? How as women we do experience safety and comfort by being with one another and coming together and having the types of meaningful conversations that you facilitate, Amanda. So I ask this question to any of you listening right now. Do you see yourself in either of these categories or somewhere in between as you get dressed every day? Do you find yourself hiding, or do you find yourself desperately trying to stand out? And that's something to think about. And I'd love to talk about that with you more individually if you'd like to have that conversation.
That's a great question to think about. Are you hiding, or are you desperately trying to stand out, which, as you mentioned earlier, can sometimes be another way of hiding, right?
Yes.
Yes. So if you could, because I have a couple questions I want to ask you, and the first one would be if you had just a couple of really easy tips for someone to, if they want to feel better about themselves getting dressed, what would be maybe a couple of tips that you could give them regarding their closet that could help them simplify the process and feel more beautiful as they get dressed?
I think practically speaking that, as I mentioned in the beginning, really having in front of you only the items that you're currently wearing. So items that currently fit you, items that are on par with the season, and no special occasion wear, like something you'd wear to a wedding or a fancy event. Putting all of those things in a separate part of your closet. I would say for the things that are off season or the things that don't fit well, put those in storage or out of your closet, or at least back in the corner of your closet. And then for the special occasion wear that you only wear a few times a year, put that all together kind of at the end of your wardrobe selection. Don't mix it in with what you're wearing every day. And then experiment with going through, touch every item in your closet and ask yourself, number one, am I really wearing this? And number two, how does this make me feel? And then pare down in that way so that what you're left with front and center in your closet are those things that you really enjoy, that make you feel good and beautiful, and really work with those and only wear those things the next few weeks and see how that feels, because I think decreasing your visual clutter as you look over your clothing every day to get dressed will unclutter your mind which makes it easier to put outfits together. And if you find that you feel really uninspired when you look at everything and there's nothing in your closet that really makes you feel beautiful or good or positive feelings, let's get together and talk about it. And let's talk about why and what is it about those things in your closet? Is it the color? Is it the shape? And start to define what you look for. And I have a selection of resale clothing. So it's all affordable. It's a third of full retail price. And it's here in my basement in my home. So it's a private shopping experience. But even, I actually don't even like to call it a shopping experience. I think if you wanted to come over and go through the experience more as a laboratory and an experiment to just try some different things. See how you feel. Try something you've never tried on before. And even if you aren't ready to buy anything, I think it's a valuable experience to just play around and take some risks and see how you feel. And I need to do that with you.
I like how you call it the laboratory. That's fun. So those are good tips. I think, like you said, keeping everything front of center and reducing your visual clutter. I think that's very powerful. Another question I wanted to ask, because I know for a lot of women, especially busy moms, it can get easy to get stuck in the rut of just wearing yoga pants or, your workout clothes. So what could be an easy tip that maybe someone can use to spice that up a little bit?
I love to talk about this because this is a situation I deal with personally since I work at home and I do exercise. And if I don't have an appointment with a client or a professional meeting, I can enjoy wearing those sorts of things all day. And yet, if I go to the grocery store, if I go pick up my daughter, and I run into somebody I know or a potential client, why would they hire me if I'm wearing exercise clothes? If they want to hire someone to help them with their personal style. So I feel that pressure, to be honest. And so the solution I came up with is thinking of it, when I get dressed in the morning, I think of it in terms of base layers. So at home, I've got, leggings and a comfortable top, let's say, or yoga pants are my leggings and a tank top and something thrown over the top. If I'm going to run out to the store or go out to pick up my daughter, what I do is instead of putting on my tennis shoes like I wear to the yoga studio, I put on a cute pair of boots, whether they're tall boots or short boots, booties, something that's a little more in the fashion category than the exercise category. I have 2 or 3 cardigan sweaters that are substantial. They're not paper thin. And they're not short. They're a longer kind of mid-weight sweater with a fun, colorful pattern. I throw that on. Throw on some earrings. And if I don't have time to do anything with my hair, I brushed it, then I throw a hat on. And I think with that outer layer of the hat, the scarf, the sweater, I don't look like I'm in exercise wear. And I also feel like I didn't completely change my clothes. And I can go to the gym later or come home and peel off those outer layers and just enjoy being comfortable. So
I think those are good. Tips because easy. Just what could you throw on top to add a little or unity, but still have to change your hair out.
Yes, because it's a different experience to feel, I don't know how it is for you, but how, I'm getting dressed today and putting on makeup and putting on an outfit. That's a different mental space for me to go through the day than I'm doing what I got to do. I got to get these things done. So who cares if it gets a little dirty or if I got to bend and stretch and move stuff around? It's functional and it helps me stay in the mindset I need to be in each day, whatever the day looks like.
Love that. I was going to ask a question. Do you work with people virtually as well?
Do I work with people what?
Virtually?
So experimenting with that. And I have someone next month that is going to be a beta tester to see what it would be like to do a session, FaceTime or Skype. This woman lives locally, but she's far away from me. And she's a participant. So we're going to give it a shot. And I did a small little mini session with Shelley Hunter Hillesheim initially, and it was a mixed experience for both of us. So I don't want to write off that option immediately. I definitely want to try it a few more times and see if it's just me building my skills in this area or if it is the actual experience that just isn't effective. So if any of you are interested in being a beta tester, I am looking for people to try this out with me virtually, and let's see how it goes. And I look forward to your feedback.
Awesome.
And
I feel like there's a
feedback,
so I'm going to talk slow. If anyone has any questions, please post them, and we will get back to you. And also, Lisa, if you could tell everyone where to find you.
Yes, so I have a website, stylishsparrow.com, and you can email me there, lisa@stylishsparrow.com, and I would love to get together with you for coffee or have a phone conversation and just hear more about what your desire and interest is in the realm of fashion and freedom. I have a Facebook page on Facebook. Stylish Sparrow, so hopefully you can find that easily, and I like to post interesting things there.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if any of you are going through divorce or have recently been through divorce, I'm hosting an event on Sunday in my home for the organization called Blue Iris that supports women going through that transition in life. So get in touch with me if you want to know. And Amanda, I would love to share this link that we're doing right now, this video, with people I know.
Yes.
Tell them about you, because I'm really enjoying being in your Feminine Fire workshop right now. I'm going through this 6-week workshop with Amanda, learning about how I can experience more pleasure in my life and how I can feel more awake and open sexually. And it's just really great experience with you, and some unexpected gifts and exercises that you've had us do have really yielded some things opening up in my life that I'm really happy about. So tell people about you and what you do.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear you're having some good openings. So I relationship coach, and I am the creator of Fire. This is a group coaching program. Helps women reclaim mojo, if you will. So I as well, Amanda Testadoc. And I would love, if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, you're welcome. I feel like I do a lot in this edition. Continuing to provide good content. Again, if there's other things that you want about, hear more about, please let me know. So I can give you what you're looking for. And I thank you guys for watching. We'll post underneath this information, so you can reach out to her as well. Yay! Thank you guys.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.
You too.
This was fun.